Alright, so it has been a minute since we had left off on this Crtiical Role, Call of the Netherdeep, starting episode 10. Let me get some general mood music here. Get those balances. Let's see. Hopefully that's not too loud for everybody. Alrighty. So the last session had began off at the aftermath of the cavern that has been referred to as Ruined Snarl. Were you guys going over all of the loot and notes that you had found, splitting the goods? Morgen had went to have a conversation with Dermot, overseeing him, like maybe perhaps listening to the weapon he had just picked up. He denies that, and when called out on the weaponly seemingly calling to him, in his words, he seems to snap back at the Shadarkai, and they hold off some other words before walking away. Morgen then goes off to warn the rest of the party and find out what the rest of her coven is planning to do next. During all that, Saeryn was reflecting on his manipulation of luck and chance and scrawling a bunch of notes in his spellbook, working on a possible new spell and other manipulations of chance and fate. Aljin was digging around in the religious icons and symbols that were found of these various prime deities and the mix of betrayer gods, pondering the connections between the jewel that the other party has found that Io wears around her neck, and whatever possible connections is related to himself and the rest of his new found friends. While Aljin and Saeryn then are making plans for what to do next with the baby in tow, getting it back safely to the Enchanted Grove. Ludo was coddling it, the still sleeping baby, not dead, it was dead asleep. Poor choice of words on my part. With Maggie dawdling over it before the groups split up for a little bit of rest for the evening and decide what to do then. Throughout this bit, there was Morgen went and harvested some of these Phython mushrooms to get a couple of harvested uses from it, but then having a moment of realization that it is can be made into a poison to which a creature doesn't wake up from, and then also realizing that this baby they had rescued has been sleeping for an unnaturally long time. Rush over to Ludo, warn of that, and they manage to heal the baby, bring it back awake, and then cast another sleep spell onto it, putting it unnaturally asleep yet again, but this time for the sake of safety in the cave. Ludo, talking with Saeryn, talks of some of his backstory and his failures of the past and the memories that haunt him, and talks of redemption, not vengeance, as Saeryn had prompted. Throughout this evening, Aljin and Morgen begin discussing some of the druidic nature of powers, with Morgen crafting that black rose for Yseriad, and both of them share their backgrounds and calls of duties and destinies, with Morgen mentioning her green verdant tome, and later in the evening having memories of her brother the last time they saw each other in the ossuary in the Shadowfell. Aljin at this time showing off some of his newer magic, accidentally vortex warping Morgen, and later recalling memories of childhood with his grandma, yet again lecturing him on something else after he had lashed out at some bullies with this kid named Julian who had teased him. Reach for the stars, and surely they will be in your grasp. Some words from Morgen to Aljin that I thought were pretty fucking cute. In the morning, they decide what to do, head back into the grove, with a slight confrontation building between the other rival group, saying that they are heading east. The emotions seem to flare up a little bit, and a very bitter departure. This is after Ludo had summoned his celestial steed named Zephyr, carrying the baby in a little wooden Bjorn. But as the two parties are finally making that departure, Morgen mentions something about her unease of Dermot's mace, which makes the goblin make a remark back towards the cleric of the Musk Raven, and Io says that she has overheard Arlo being called by different names, which has sown a wedge of distrust between the groups, and resigned to go their different ways. They do indeed have reason to believe that their paths will cross again. Ludo at that moment reached out with his divine sense, trying to feel for any sense of celestial fiend or undead. Found himself awash in a tide of all three of those presences, the entire cave lousy with traces of all three of those sources, making it difficult to pinpoint any specific nature coming from Dermot's mace. Aljin had made a peace offering holding out a symbol of Sehanine to Io, and as she goes to go push it away or smack it, either way, it goes flying out of Aljin's hand. And Maggie makes remarks about sticking with her tribe as Ludo calls after her, and leaves a little small blanket for Ludo with the baby. The party mostly make their way back to the grove, harvesting some grave dust on the way out of the cave. Once back at the Emerald Grove, Morgen goes and brews up some Phythum with Auntie Jawler, and she ends up with one full dose of the Phythum poison with the assistance of the old hag, and Auntie gets herself 3 uses of the sleep potions, essentially, while the rest of the party wait for the Wastewalker clan to leave out of the grove, keeping the baby entertained. I believe there's some jokingly roll for diaper changes and entertaining the baby, and it's like, hey, making sure it doesn't awake or start making noise while you're trying to pretend you don't have it. Weirdest thing of D&D we'd ever done yet. Eventually, the clan leaves, and most of the party goes and sees the Acorn Sisters, the 2 dryads, Lenata and Rober, and they receive these charms of heroism as a reward for rescuing the baby, with Ludo leaving a coin of Evandra. Back at the campfire, while the party was doing that, Saeryn stayed behind and had a conversation with one of the scouts there who had offered him a job, displaying these connections to the myriad and criminal underground networks. They say it can be offered quite a good amount of gold if they manage to procure some of the fresh lumber from the trees in this here enchanted grove. The wood has a magical sap with special properties, and in Bazazan can fetch maybe upwards to 1,000 gold pieces for about a day's worth of a fresh bonfire, a few logs. And I believe that is where we ended the session, with Saeryn contemplating that offer. And let's go to the scene. Is there anything I missed anyone feels like? Any moments or thoughts otherwise?
I don't think so. I was thinking back to it. I forgot we need that boon they gave us is basically a potion of heroism, right?
Yeah, one time you use potion of heroism, essentially. Okay. Yeah, it's a quick charm.
You said it. You said I looked at my notes. I'm like, I have it wrote down. It was not in my inventory, so I had to add that real fast.
Perfect.
Forgot about that part. I think that's everything.
Yeah.
All right, so we can. While Saeryn is having that conversation at the campfire, we could probably have you guys moving your way back, towards the campsite after the meeting with the dryads. If there's any moments, conversations you guys wanted to have in that quick moment back.
I don't think so, at least on my side. I don't think there's anything really to be talking about. The whole last day or so has been pretty messed up. So I don't think I have anything out, unless Morgen has something going on.
I feel like Morgan would just be sort of, just cleaning up camp at this point, packing everything up, getting the horses ready. She would be attempting to depart as soon as Arlo returned.
Excellent. Yeah, and I'll say at that moment, you guys notice Ludo going into that his little mood. The silent, contemplative moments. Like I say, I do notice getting a little bit of echo, but yeah, that's fine. But yeah, you guys have that moment, so I guess we'll, in the silence that Ludo is setting the tone for, we'll have Saeryn back at the campfire. This skeezy guy offering you some money, or potential for a job.
Yeah, if I can get like logs from these trees and like a dryad's nest out.
And he looks you up and down, just like, the offer's there if you want it. And he holds out a little flask for you. It's like, if you want to take a sip.
Do not have purified food and drink. Dang it. Yeah, I'll take the flask and have a sip of that.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean it's a nasty ass fucking liquid. It's just some foul, straight ethanol, basically.
Ugh. All right. Well, thanks for the job offer. Let me think about a way to get it done, and then maybe I'll come and speak with the contact when we end up in Bazistan.
Right. Well, let me know what you decide. I can send a little messenger ahead, and let them know about you coming. But the name will be a need-to-know basis until then.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. And I think Saeryn's gonna head back to the rest of the group at this point.
Awesome. Yeah, you're able to make your way back up. You see, the family of a bunch of little goblins. Like, there's like little children running around on the back of that giant horizon back. See the auntie sitting as she's like up on the top now, like climbs up off and is like overlooking and comes and you see there's like the old elderly goblin that was like, like the papa of the group who's like, very much in pain, hobbling around, and she like comes and like grabs him and brings him like back down in, and goes to apply whatever medicines that she now has for him. But yeah, you all see Saeryn come walking back up.
Yeah, everybody, just got a bit of a phone offer. Not sure if we should take it, though. It seems like it might be ill-advised, possibly dangerous.
I mean, is it something we can do on the way through, or
Pretty much. I just got told that if we get a few of these, some of this, what is it? Some of the wood around here, in this enchanted glade and whatnot. Apparently, if we take some of it and take it to Bazazan and get a pretty good amount of dosh for our time. Thing is, apparently it's not allowed to be taken, on account of the dryads, like in the wood and stuff. So, not really sure if we should chance getting the dryads mad at us.
It's kind of in bad taste too. They just gave us these boons, and we gave them a kid, which a little strange. But I don't know. I don't have a great feeling about it. What your ideas there?
Don't really currently have a solid plan of action for it. I just got informed of it. Figured I'd run it by you all, considering there's no way I'm going to be sneaking a whole bunch of timber on my own.
Morgan, what's your thoughts of stealing dryad trees?
Well, there's an old saying, hell hath no fury like that of a dryad's scorn.
I'm not a big fan of the hills myself.
Yeah, I don't, and it's just as you said too, Saeryn, it's, not exactly easy for us to transport logs. We're already having a horrible time in this terrible terrain.
Yeah, we don't exactly have a wagon.
I mean, I suppose we could find a way to kind of hitch some to some of the horses, but I
Honestly, I'm
don't.
not even sure how I'm gonna cut down one of the trees. So,
Yes, I don't know if I'm quite comfortable with that either.
I don't really have an axe. I'm not really that type of, person. I don't think that's a great idea.
I've
Maybe pass.
I've a mace and a javelin.
yeah, and I've got a dagger, but
Ooh, a dagger.
not
Yeah,
exactly getting through a tree with that. I think we're gonna have to pass on this one, but I'll keep you guys informed if I hear any other potential gold acquiring opportunities.
another opportunity will present itself.
Yeah, it just always sucks turning down something that's right in front of you. I'm gonna go back to the guy and just let him know that we're not gonna be able to accommodate the timber.
Oh, it's mighty big loss on your end. Passing up a great opportunity, and
Well, we don't even have a wagon, so B.
Says that is the problems of being a transporter sometimes. The lack of ingenuity is sometimes all that prevents you from finding opportunities.
Saeryn has already rescued a kid today.
I know.
And
he has no. Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, all right, man. Yeah, lack of ingenuity. Yeah, I'm pretty spent. I'm gonna go lie down.
Yeah, that's that feeling of someone who has no idea what the fuck they're talking about, trying to pretend to lecture you on anything. Does that slight patronizing? Where you're just like, I could blow your mind with the amount of shit that I know that you don't.
I could literally detect his thoughts if I felt like it. It just doesn't seem worth a spell slot.
And then he goes to pretty much go make a little brush motion on his jacket, as if brushing some dust off, which and thieves can't hand signal means better luck next time. It's basically a your loss.
Yeah. Oh well, my loss.
Yeah.
I'd rather. Saren's aware of the Fae. He doesn't need to be pissing off dryads.
Yeah. No. Fair. Smart. But yeah, you guys, put your regards to that.
Here, the encounter Jack had planned up just crumpling in his hand as he throws away the dryad encounter.
Whoosh, whoosh. On the sheet paper ripping tear throats. No, hey, that's what it's all about. Is you put things out there, you don't know what's gonna hit or not.
Yeah.
Hey,
The temptation to tell the dryads about the guy. That's the actual temptation.
That's a good one too.
I think I'm gonna let the dryads figure out what he's doing on their own. They don't need help. They seem good enough to figure this out.
What just jog my memory, what part of the day were you, because we slept in the tunnels.
Yeah.
It took a couple hours to get back. Were you mid-afternoon?
Yeah, you're probably a little bit post mid-afternoon now, especially with that Morgen brewing up that poison with the anti guys going having that. We role played a small moment, but I imagine it was a more of a formal ordeal when you guys that conversation with the dryads and the ceremony going out to the grove and the presentation of stuff. You know, the Fae are nothing if not sticklers for procedure sometimes, and like they don't have a hurry in the world. They don't give a fuck about time. But yeah, we'll say probably like a few hours afternoon, probably, you know, getting into not quite sundown yet, but you know,
You still have
a couple hours till
of travel
sundown.
time.
Yeah, probably.
We've got a couple hours of travel time. Do you guys want to get out on the road again? Or do you want us to try to crash here again for another night? I mean, is it starting to clear? Is the campsite here starting to clear out a little bit? Just that one guy talking about trees?
Yeah,
Or
you
is there
see,
more than that?
you see, there's like like a few like wagons still here that you see like probably some like more main staples that belong to like the big Horizon Back group. So there's like the Goblinoid family still running around. You see there's like another person off like in the distance, probably some sort of like, you know, it's like traveling merchants. The one guy by the fire, but yeah, not the most of the bulk of people that were here when you first got here had been left out with that Waste Walker clan.
At this point, I think I see Morgan cleaning everything's up, sort of in like that statement of, "Do you guys want to stay here or pack up?" is sort of directed to her, of like, "Do you want to stay here, Morgan, or you want to get going?" Looks like you're already getting the camp all packed up and ready to go with Ludo.
Yes, we could probably get a few hours of travel before nightfall. Um, I know we shouldn't let the other group get too far ahead, or maybe a little bit of distance between us would be good, but we do have a mission and we must be going at some point. Why delay?
I mean, I guess that
Yeah.
makes sense. We can get moving. Still heading to, as Aaron's trying to remember where we're heading. We're heading to Bazozan. That's it. How far do you think Bazozan is from here? How many more days we got? Does anybody know? I'm not from this area. Does anybody know how far we are from that area?
I think I have a map of the area.
You do have a map of the area. I'm trying to see where I have that hidden in all of these notes. The Emerald Gulch show to players. Is that popped up on your guys' screen?
Yep.
So you're at where the Emerald Loop and Hollowed Path, that little green dot right there in the center. That's where you're at. And then Bazozan, if you follow the road east along the edge of the mountains through the barbed fields, that will bring you to where Bazozan is, like on that near the northern edge. So you probably feel, and it was probably about took you. So you guys were like probably closer to like a week or so getting out here about. You feel it'd probably take at least like a couple more days of travel on the road, depending on the pace and you know, weather forbidding.
Well, I'd say at least it's a few more days. As long as everything goes well. However, you've seen the weather around here and the shifting environment that could slow us down a little bit as well.
And having to travel through something called the barbed fields sounds like a good time. I mean, I'm sure it's not, you know, that has a fun name. We came from what, the Emerald Loop, which sounds great, and that was terrible. So I can only imagine what something called the barbed fields would be. I mean, maybe it's the opposite. Maybe the Emerald Loop is terrible, and the barbed fields are unicorns and butterflies. We can hope. Maybe tall grasses, shade trees. Probably not. Have you been
It's
out
like
this
the
far,
old saying
Morgan?
goes, hell hath no fury like that of a barbed field.
Huh. Weird how a lot of those sayings start the same. I guess there also is a lot of hells. There's like 7 of them.
Yeah.
There's
Jorhasian.
probably at least 5 more of those Saiyans, I guess.
Yeah, there's one for every hell. There's at least
Mm-hmm.
9. I mean, also, Jorhas, they're very, like, everything is just hell.
Everything's just
hell has no fury, like, everything sucks.
It's all just hell here.
All right, well,
Amazing.
I mean, he looks like he got everything pretty much packed up, and I guess it's moving on.
All right, yeah, you guys take the time and you want to head out, for a good little bit of the stretches sunlight while you still have it. So.
Yeah, we got time. We got to make up time with the other to catch up to the other party.
Mm-hmm. So, what pace would you guys like to be traveling at? You got the normal pace, fast pace, or slow pace?
So Ludo still has his spiritual moorbounder, and do we have 3 horses left? I see 3 on the map. That means nothing.
Yeah, because the one had been killed before. So yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, you got the 3 there.
So we can go. I mean, we can all climb on horses. We can make a pretty good clip on horses. I don't know. You guys want to do a fast pace just to nightfall, and then amp up?
Yeah, that sounds like a good way to make up time.
Yeah. I was like fast pace until sundown.
All right. So that means you guys are going to be heading out, going at a pretty good clip. What that means, though, is passive perception, and any perception wisdom checks are going to be at a disadvantage or a -5 for the passives. But you guys, the sun, pretty sure same, rises in east, sets in west, so it'd be at this point the sun getting at your back as it's casting like the shadows out in front of you that are slowly lengthening. The weather in this day is pretty nice and fine. It seems after the storm. Awesome, yeah, passive with 12, that'll probably be the highest here. Awesome.
Yeah.
You guys
definitely.
are heading out into the wastes towards the barbed fields. Who wants to go ahead and roll me a d20 to start?
Nah,
I'll start her off today. Oh,
okay, go ahead. Yep, no, go right ahead.
Right, I'll start her off today.
Yeah, you go ahead.
6.
Yeah. Awesome. So you guys start heading out, and it's wild because you swear as soon as you leave the area of the grove, around the main central, there seems to be a boundary where you see the grass and green wildlife still trying to hold and cling on, growing into these crevices and cracks along the earth, little bits of moss and shrubs. But eventually it just almost as if it hits a boundary, they all begin to just die and wither off. And then less than 30 minutes out from there, you feel from your back the wind begin to pick up and start kicking up all that sand and dust yet again, almost with a vengeance of it had to swim and swirl around that boundary. And then as it regathers its force of the winds of this area, a sandstorm begins to roll up around you. So everything past 30 feet is in a heavily obscured territory. Within less than an hour, the sun is still up, but you could barely even tell with how dark it ends up getting, and you have to find yourself walking, even though you're heading at a fast pace. Everything is very difficult to get through. What I need now is someone else to roll me a d8.
Alright, I'll take
I
one.
got it.
You got it? Cool. I'm just going to say it as people say do it. An 8.
Oh no.
That's either the best or the worst.
Mhm.
There's a YouTube compilation for Critical Role, and the title of it is "This is all because Ashley rolled an 8."
Mhm.
Oh yeah. This could be a dragon.
It could be a dragon.
I always assume it's a dragon at this point.
Mhm.
Was that the one where she rolled the 8 and actually got the white dragon that came after?
Yeah,
that?
the white dragon came out, and the Tomb Takers showed up.
Yeah.
There was a whole mess, and the Tomb Takers stole something from them. They had to hunt them down, and that went really poorly.
It just escalated from there. So you guys are heading out, and you're heading in this sandstorm, these difficult conditions. Saeryn, thank God you have those goggles. It's, otherwise, like, the sand it's not getting in your eyes, thankfully. It's not much better right now, but it's...
At least me eyes don't sting.
Exactly. That's all that can be really said for right now. And as you are heading through on this sandstorm of a path, it's like, what are you guys doing? What are your reactions? Are you still trying to head through as fast as you can in the swirling, like, cracked, jagged landscape? You see the boulders coming out from, like, the shadows in front of you, like right when you're almost on them, and then you have to kind of adjust with the animals. Is anyone like helming this party for getting through here?
I was just looking at nature stuff to see who has the best, who has the best nature. But yeah, it wouldn't be me. It wouldn't be Aljin.
I'll do a nature check.
I mean, +3. Or is it survival?
Awesome,
+7 will not save me.
Mm-hmm.
we haven't rolled above 10 yet, guys. Rerolls all
Getting
over
there.
10.
Yeah, so it's like you're trying to help, like, find like a semblance of a path, like, into it, what's safe and stuff like that. And you are able to 1 second. Yeah, okay. Perfect. Oh no. Let me do this and this. It is basically a crapshoot. You're just using your best guesses of what your pathing is. It is kind of slowing your turn, but you're still able to make up, like, pretty much as fast of a pace as you can. And it's with the wildness of that nature, with those passive perceptions and the sandstorm clogging everything, it takes almost up until you're onto it before you guys notice when suddenly you hear the sounds from up ahead. A little bit of shrieking of noises, animals. There's all of a sudden you could feel the sudden thundering of the ground that would, like, took a moment to notice, and, like, the wild wind whipping around you, and then, like, the steady vibrations, you begin to feel some disturbance up ahead. And then bursting out of the clouds, running at a full speed, a huge, massive mammoth, fully covered in hair, and it's like head down, running through the sandstorm, almost blind, and it is charging straight at where you guys are at. I'm gonna go ahead and move you on over, because what you also see, do you guys see this?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
So all heavily obscured. So pretty much, like, right, it begins as like a shadow. This is just like a shadow of fog in the distance, and it gets pretty much about this close when you can make out where the mammoth is, and then you hear the loud screech of a large winged creature, almost like cloaked in the shadows of the sandstorm seem to deepen around it, and it kind of, like, dives in out of darkness and back into darkness. A large winged evil creature with that nature check, Saeryn, you actually do recognize that you remember hearing about this being a Gloom stalker. One of the many creatures you are warned about that live in the wastes. But what that means happening here is we're going to need everyone to roll initiative. After 1 second, don't hit the buttons yet. Let me pull up a tracker to clear everything out. Now, everybody roll initiative.
Jeez. Make sure I roll 20 on that. 19. Do you want me to roll for Ludo? I have Ludo sheet up.
Yeah. If we get Ludo in the mix, might as well. All right, thank you. All right, you're down. Awesome. I got him and everyone on there. Awesome. We're gonna have to change up this music. Guess we're in a little bit more of an intense moment now. Let's go with. Where is my list? Okay. Yeah, so you all see this mammoth is trampling, charging out of the sandstorm, and you see this Gloomstalker harrying at it like this flying shadow around it. As far as you know, this thing is heading in a straight line, like it is running. What are you doing?
Me as in I'm up, right?
Oh, yes, sorry. Finny and you are up at top of initiative, then Morgan is on deck. Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. I was just looking at my spell sheet and going, what am I doing? That's a good question.
And just to help set the scene, just for a second, and then I'll take it off, but I'm gonna show that, you guys are also in a dust storm. Everything is for the condition of heavily obscured, which... Let's pull that ruling up real fast. So anything past a range of, we'll say, 30 feet is basically heavily obscured. Or we'll say 60 feet is heavily obscured. Which is... doesn't blind you, but you're effectively blinded when you try to see something obscured by it. Creature effectively suffers from the blind condition when trying to see something in that area. And then that carries over lightly obscured is disadvantage on wisdom perception checks that rely on sight. So that is also.
All right. We'll look at everybody at this point and be like, so are we going to attack any of these, both these, or just the flying thing? Sort of trying to figure out what's going to happen, because they're in our way, and that's not great, but one looks more scary than the other. 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. I'm going to go down to there. Only being able to see sort of... Whoop, I'm moving me and not looking at my... There we go. How far am I? I'm still 80 feet. That thing looks scarier than the mastiff at this point, or the mammoth at this point. I don't got anything great for this. So, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm going to cast a spell I haven't cast before, but what do I need for this thing? Oh, good. Being able to see him, but I can just see figures. I can see the figures of the flying thing attacking the big mammoth thing. I assume he told us that it's a gloom stalker, so that seems scarier than a elephant. And I cast a spell called Freedom of Waves. It's 100. I can range it 120 feet. It is a 15-foot radius, 10 feet tall cylinder on a point of my choice, which would be just pretty much like here. The Gloomstalker, but it might be. It really doesn't matter. Could hit the mammoth too. Do I care? Do I care? You know what? No, because it's hard to see. So I'm just going to put it at a point, which would be right where the Gloomstalker is.
Awesome.
Not knowing how big it is.
Here, post the VTT language of that real fast.
There you go.
You conjure delusions of seawater 15 foot at some point within range. Awesome.
The range is 120 feet. 10-foot cylinder. Unless he's above 10 foot tall. Is he above 10 foot tall? Like, is the creature higher than 10 feet?
Yeah, he's up in the air. He's hearing like up out of the sky, basically, and then like driving back up into the sky. So like the mammoth is a huge beast, so it's like 15, 20 feet tall, and then that Gloomstalker is probably like diving in from like 10 feet above that, tearing in, and like these you're just seeing shadows of that at this point. But it was with that, like Sarah was able to like, okay, I'm pretty sure I know what this is.
Yeah, it doesn't say it has to be on a flat surface, so technically I can do it right above him, and it's going to be in the form of, it says I can do it a water spout, a tidal wave, or whirlpool, or any other form of my choice. It's going to be a, like, almost like a waterfall coming straight down, like, 15-foot radius right at, or is it 10-foot cylinder? Foot radius, 10-foot tall cylinder. So it would be like right on this creature, in a 15-foot radius, like a waterfall coming straight down this thing. It needs to make a strength saving throw. And if it fails, it takes 2d8 bludgeoning damage and is prone.
Awesome. All right, yeah. You summon it, so you kind of like, because it doesn't say a point that you see. It just says you pick a point in range, right?
Conjure a point within range. Yeah,
perfect, exactly. So you do that.
A little bit.
Give it a splash of water. It makes a strength save. What's your DC?
16.
13 will fail. Even with that +9. All right. So
takes 2d8 or 4 points of bludgeoning damage and is prone.
All right. Awesome. So you see that splash of water just whoosh, deluge down onto it, and it slams it down into the ground. And I'm actually gonna say we'll do another. Awesome. The force of it slamming down into the ground from that kicks up another like layer of like spray of dust that gets whipped up in the sandstorm.
And my bonus action I'll use, since I cast above a level 1 spell, I use 10 feet of movement to get back here behind this boulder, because things hurt me, and I'm just a squishy little guy. That'll be my turn.
Awesome. So that is prone now. It is on the ground. All right, that will be Morgan's turn.
All right, I'm going to move up 30 feet. It is within 60 of me, so I can see it. I am going to cast Bane on it. Needs a Charisma saving throw. DC 15.
That's a nat 1.
Good. It is now Bane.
All right, mark that concentration.
Will do. Enter.
All righty. So it is the mammoth's turn, because they actually rolled a 19 on their dex -1, which is hilarious because Saeryn had whatever plus that on that. But mammoth is going to take its movements and it is going to take its dash. 40. As this thing comes stampeding past you, Morgan, I'm going to need you to make a dex save.
Will do.
As it is like just wildly running through. So basically, it is like it is wildly like, because like with the tokens on this edge, like, you know, hey, you're like technically in the next square over, but it is like passing and right next to you, and you're trying to not get caught up in this stomp. So we're gonna say with that 5, you're able to mostly dodge out of the way and just get a glancing blow. So you're gonna take 14 bludgeoning damage, as it's just like wildly swinging, and like its tusks just boom go and smack you, and as it's like just trying to get past you. And then that's going to go ahead and 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So that's going to be saves from, because yeah, I'm going to imagine all the horses, because you guys were like on the horses, right?
Should have been, yeah.
Yeah, I probably would have moved it with the horse.
Yeah. So you were boom, boom there. We'll say that's that there with you. So the horse will also take a little bit of damage from that. But with this one charging right through this space, it's going to be Saeryn and Ludo are going to need to take those dex saves as well to basically get out of the way or be actually trampled underneath.
Alright. 17. I think you're close enough, Saeryn. Maybe you were. Is he close enough to benefit from? Does he have that feature yet? I don't know. Paladins.
That's level 6. You get the aura.
It's level 6,
and it's at 10 feet. Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. Yeah. So Ludo makes the save. Saeryn does not. So we're gonna say, Saeryn, you'll take 19 damage. Ludo will take 9. And we'll say, do you guys have seat up for your warhorse as well?
What was that?
Do you guys happen to have a sheet up for warhorses? If Saeryn, you want to roll for your horse, and then Ludo actually has his Moorbounder.
Oh yeah.
I can post that page real fast actually, and I can post horse as well real fast.
Yeah, if you don't mind posting more boundaries, so I don't have to look for it real fast. Ready. Say Ludo took 9. Is that what it was?
Yes. And then we're gonna go with its riding horse. Is what you all have. I think is the ones I've been using. Awesome. Okay. Yeah. So I threw a bunch of stuff at y'all real fast.
Did you want a separate dex save for the horse?
Yes, if you can.
Okay.
I won't
realize.
one
Yeah.
of the
So
more
your horse.
boundary,
Yeah.
sure.
Your horse would have taken the 14 as well.
Sorry,
Okay, that would put the horse down.
Yeah, that downs my horse.
Damn. Okay.
Oh, 18 was the more bounder.
Okay. That will take. It was able to jump out the way. That's what only took the 9 as well with Ludo.
Okay.
Awesome. So boom, horse is down. Boom, 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 boom. Saeryn, you also you got trampled underneath. You just got stepped on by a fucking mammoth.
Yeah.
And it pulled you up and you just feel the splat of the horse underneath you is probably what cushioned most of your blow.
No.
You felt all of that smelching, squelching of it beneath you. It is now your turn, technically. You are prone.
Now I will stand up from prone.
All right.
Move 15 feet that way, and then I'm going to hit the mammoth with a mind sliver. Like, fuck you.
All right, it's an intelligence saving throw from a mammoth.
Yes, and I believe it is. The other one is banned actually. So this was just a straight intelligence saving throw. Yeah.
10.
DC's 15, takes 10 psychic damage, and its next save is a minus D4.
Awesome. All right. Anything else? All right.
I don't really have a bonus action right now, so I
Big
think I'm
fucking
done.
mind sliver. Awesome. And also you see, like, this mammoth is not looking good to begin with. Like, it's looking very rough. Like, this thing has been being harried for a while, and you see its eyes are, like, just, like, that, like, primal. It is just running and just, like, trying to get out, basically. And you hear from behind you the reason that it's trying to run, and you hear the loud shriek, "Ah!" And the Gloomstalker comes flying in and picks itself up from prone. So that's half its movement. It's like battered wings that like fell down from the sky. So now it can only go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. But the rest of its fly speed as it comes flapping up. And boy. Yep, that's everybody. I'm going to need everybody to make a Constitution saving throw. As it lets out a horrendous shriek that just pierces into all your ears, but holy fuck, all of you save. Except for Morgen with an 8. So Morgen, you are paralyzed as you just feel this shriek pierce into your brain, and you just like clutch at your head, just like you feel the Shadowfell magic of this monster, the origin of these creatures, reverberate around within your brain and just pretty much temporarily paralyze you.
Okay, that breaks concentration on my spell.
Awesome. All right, it is no longer boom. That was its action. It is then going to the mammoth. Also needs to make that con save. 6, so that is also paralyzed as well.
Excuse me, there's a minus D4 to that.
You know what?
I was wondering you were going to say that.
Fair. Love it. Crit 1 down to a 5. Amazing. That is the weakest fucking mammoth in all of Exandrian history. This thing's fucked. But anyway, that happens, and then this thing, it sees this mammoth, and it has its target that is harried, but also it is going to go ahead and Saeryn smells pretty bloody. It's going to boom and teleport right over here with a quick little burst of shadow. The monster lets out that shriek, and then it, in a flash, a puff in the sandstorm. You couldn't tell if it just moved again, and you blinked and looked away for a second, but all of a sudden, Saeryn, it rears up right there in front of you, and right next to where this mammoth is as well.
Whoa.
Which Morgen you recognize as a shadow step kind of ability.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, you know, it's nice to see a touch of the Shadowfell, you know, every now and then, even in circumstances. Anyway, we'll leave that to Ludo's turn.
Okay. On the back of the more about it. How high is this creature now?
It flew pretty much back up. It's like another, like, it flew, like, upwards as soon as it, like, regained its thing to, like, fly up over in front of Morgen, and then it teleported him 40 feet, and it's, like, right back at the, above the head of the, mammoth. So, like, it's, no, it's actually within melee striking range of Saeryn and, the mammoth, so it's probably, like, 10 feet off the ground.
10 feet off.
It put itself within strike range of multiple targets for, you know.
Okay. In the back of a moorbounder, a large beast, which would probably, with a 5-foot weapon would get me within range probably. As Ludo. Being on the back of the Moorbounder, Ludo would get to right onto this thing, under it, if he can. And he'll make his... At this point, he's just seen Saeryn in danger at this point. He's going to take a couple swings with his Starlight Spear. Which I can't quite use the weapon for some reason, so I'll just roll a 20 on here plus 6. Because I don't remember how to use the actual... Hold on. Is it /R? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
1D. /R, 1D. It's been so long.
Mm-hmm.
Plus 6. Since I've actually used, like, those. A 19 to hit.
19
My
will
first
hit.
attack. I will use... So I'll just roll the second attack. It's 2 actions per turn. So let me just do the second one real fast, because that's just easy. That one's going to miss.
Mm-hmm.
So the first one is 1d6 plus 3.
Awesome. And is this Ludo's attacks?
This is Ludo's attacks, but I can't. I mean, for some reason, I can roll certain things, but for some reason, weapons is not one of them. I can roll all of his
other stuff,
stats, but not weapons. I don't know why. So I have to
right.
manually use that. So 7 points of piercing damage, and then since he used his pole arm, he can use his pole arm
bonus
master. So that'll be the same thing, 1d6 plus.
And I'll say specifically his spear is definitely helping, giving that reach to stab up at the creature for sure.
Oops, that was not what I wanted to do.
1d6 plus 3.
1d6 plus 3? No, it's 1d20 plus 6. I don't know where I got that one at. That one missed too.
No worries. Alright, but yeah, you see Ludo come rearing up with a flurry of blows. Action bonus movement. I believe that should be all from
the
paladin.
everything. Yep, that's everything for Ludo.
Awesome.
Crap.
Yeah, sorry, they're back to back. We can
No, that's no problem.
you need any swap rounds. Like if Morgan wanted to
Didn't.
switch. But I was gonna say Morgan has a paralyzed round anyway, so but yeah, back to you, Finn. Sorry.
Okay. Seeing... I don't like... Does Saeryn come after creature? He does. Okay. I don't like Saeryn that close either. That's a bummer for Saeryn and me. Is Saeryn on the ground or are you standing up, Saeryn?
I'm standing up.
Okay, you're standing up. Okay, cool.
Yeah, you got
Yeah, I'm gonna look at you and be like, Saeryn, get ready! And I'm gonna cast Vortex Warp on Saeryn. Saeryn, you can choose to fail the con save if you would like.
Sure.
And if you do, you will move... I gotta look how far it is. Vortex Warp. Oh, 90 feet.
It's like
Where
forever.
does he teleport? Yeah, like 90 feet away. So, Saeryn, move yourself... Because I'm not going to tell you where you're going to move. Oh, actually, I technically have to tell you where you move. You're going to move away, quite a bit away. Like, I don't want to move that far, though, because I think 90 feet is a... I don't know what spells you can do. Like, against him, but it would definitely be behind cover.
90 feet would put me would put everyone into fully obscured for me as well.
Yeah, that's what I was
Because
thinking.
we can only see about 60 feet out.
Yeah, so I can see, like, behind this rock, and I can see that you're, like, behind this thing. I would put you, like, next to me, actually. Close to me. You would teleport right there. And that's your teleport. I don't have, like, any bonus. I'm, like, all spellcasters, guys. We got crap for bonus actions at this point. No, that's all I really can do. I'm not moving. I might move back a little bit behind this rock a little further. But that'll be it, because knowing Saeryn's squishy like me, bring him closer to me and be like, here you go. And that would be it, I think.
Alright, so double checking the wording of it. The shriek you are paralyzed until the end of the enemy's next turn, Morgan.
All
So
right.
it's no save at the end of your turn, but by the time it gets back around, you'll probably have your turn again. It is the mammoth's turn, which is same deal. It is restrained, so that's going to do a bunch of nothing. Back to Saeryn.
Ah! I'm gonna firebolt the Gloom Stalker.
Of course you do. Okay. Improved firebolt. Yeah, 16 will hit.
Phew, 11 damage.
Nice. You guys are rearing up into it. So that is.
I don't feel like moving. I like my big old rock of protection.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like your spot there, Finn. What's you there? So boom, this thing is starting getting harried from all sides. It had its prey that it was looking at, and now it's seeing all of these threats in the area. This creature's not smart, but it's wise, and it knows when it's very hard to get an easy meal. So what it's going to do is it's going to start flapping its wings, and it sees Morgan, who's there still paralyzed, and is going to fly over the corpse of this horse. Ludo does get an opportunity attack if he wishes.
Yeah, he'll take that one. A 22.
That will hit.
Okay, let me get my 6 plus 3. Nine. I'm sure there's something else he can do. Hold on. He can add something to that.
He can smite.
That.
He can smite.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. He's gonna go level 1 smite on that. I'll have to mark smite. Ludo. Smite.
Alright. So that's 2d8 radiant.
Thank you. I was trying to look it up as I was writing. Plus a 13.
So you see as Ludo smacks him with that radiant damage, he notices, and all of you, that spark of radiant, like a sudden beacon of light, and this creature shrieks and rears back, and you feel like that connection had a very heavy hit onto it.
Hey, is it about to attack Morgan?
Yes, it is.
It rolls a 3.
Yeah.
Awesome. So its first roll that it was going to make against her, because she is restrained, so that advantage is going to be a 3.
Yeah, it's just whatever the roll is, I replace it with a 3.
Well, so because there's 2 rolls happening, right?
Yes, whatever the outcome is, I replace it with a 3.
Okay. So
It's not a disadvantage advantage thing. It's just whatever you are about to roll doesn't matter. It's a 3.
I mean, okay, but I'm like, that's why I'm like, I didn't know. I don't think Portland like overrides advantage disadvantage. Like I didn't know it replaces the result, or is it like you're replacing the roll of a die, or are you replacing the result of the roll?
Very, very good question. When you finish a long rest, roll 2 d20s and record the numbers rolled. You can replace any attack roll, saving throw, or ability check made by you or a creature that you can see with one of these foretelling rolls. You must choose to do so before the roll, and you can replace a roll in this way only once per turn. Each roll can only be used once.
Okay. Awesome.
Let me go ahead and produce that.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think, because it is attacking with advantage on her. So I'm thinking you're going to replace whatever. Because advantage, you take the higher of 2 rolls. But I'm like, this is interesting. We've never had this come up yet with Portland.
It's one of those things. It's also like silvery barbs. It doesn't impose disadvantage. It's just whatever you've rolled, you have to, whatever you roll as the outcome, you have to re-roll the outcome roll and then take the lower one, and then someone else gets advantage. But it's not phrased as you cause disadvantage. It's like the rules get like really, the words are wibbly wobbly.
Yeah. As I'm just double checking.
So
wordings of stuff, yeah.
Yeah. So I was reading like what people are saying on interactions. How does roll interact? When using a portent feature with an advantage, of disadvantage, do you replace the entire roll? And people are like, on around it.
Because like that is like a very big thing. I do want to make sure we get that like established, early on as
Yeah, establish exactly how this feature works.
Exactly. So that's what I'm trying to think out because basically, all right, way I'm thinking right now is I'm rolling right now with attack with advantage. So the first attack roll that I make, you're replacing that with a 3.
Yeah.
And then I make the second roll for the advantage attack, and then I still take the higher of the 2. That's what I'm thinking. Just as like an overall thing. But that's why I wanna, because like silvery bards, it makes them just roll again and take that number, right? So that's like its own distinct different case. Like it works outside of advantage disadvantage in a different way.
You can take it as you will. The question was posted to Jeremy Crawford. I know that's like everybody's favorite go-to, so I'm gonna use it. And his response was a wizard's portent is meant to replace the roll after advantage/disadvantage is applied.
I was gonna say that's what I was looking for was the Crawford.
That's Crawford's. The question was if a diviner wizard uses a portent to replace the attack roll with advantage, is another die rolled and the higher taken? His response was the wizard's portent is meant to replace the roll after the advantage/disadvantage is applied.
Okay.
That's the Jeremy Crawford response.
Because that's making it backwards. It's approaching it from the other way. It's I roll advantage disadvantage. Here is my roll number. Portent now says I override that outcome.
Yes.
Because you're changing the roll on the dice, right?
Yes.
Okay. So it would become a 3 plus 9 to hit Morgen, which will still miss.
I was a little worried there's like all this talking and it still hits. Damn it.
There's a world. You see this thing try and make a snatch attack at you. Which misses. So here's another thing. This is bad wording on the part of how this creature works. Because, okay, that doesn't work anyway. Alright. Because it says it makes a multi-attack, one with its bite, one with its claws, but then there's another third different attack that I just tried using here. So I think that is different than a multi-attack. I could either multi-attack or use that ability. So with that, it misses that, and now it's going to, seeing that didn't work, it's going to, sitting here at Morgen.
Hold on, there's been an errata in 2018 for the portent.
Okay, yeah, what you find?
Changes the wording of advantage and disadvantage to when you have advantage or disadvantage in something in the game, such as the halfling's lucky trait, it'll let you re-roll or replace the d20. You can re-roll or replace only one of the dice. You choose which one. For example, if a halfling has advantage on an ability check and rolls a 1 and a 13, the halfling could use the lucky trait to re-roll the 1. Therefore, the new answer.
Yeah. Okay.
So the one I have is from 2016 also.
That is also the 2016 is what I had as well.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm looking at the 2018 errata.
Awesome. Yeah. So here, let's just like to get this established. So like, because I think I actually do. I want to stick with my original, like how I think that ruling works. It's replaces one of those roll numbers. Like now that you mentioned the specific use of the lucky feat. Like you still because like if you do that and a roll with disadvantage, then you still get to re-roll and take that other number in that set of 2.
Yeah.
So I think portent should be in that same kind of loose category.
Yeah, the example that's given here on the Stack Exchange is Wizard declares he is using portent before the roll. For example, he declares an attack and uses his 18 roll. The wizard rolls 2 die due to advantage or disadvantage, e.g. rolls 2 and 10 with disadvantage. The 2 was replaced by the 18. Disadvantage resolves. The resulting dice is 10.
Got it. Okay, no. I think, also I will say, I think in a world with silvery barbs, I think that is the most fair.
You know what? Yeah, good call.
Are you guys alright with that?
Yeah.
I mean, as long as it doesn't hurt me. As long as
Just the wizard, yeah. I was saying, like, hey, like, I want to, not all things have to be set in stone, and like, I'm a love a good lawyer's rule debate.
This also makes sense because it doesn't allow me to undo advantage. It would if I was just replacing advantage or disadvantage, then without that, then I would be able to cancel out sneak attacks. So
okay, fair. Yeah, we don't want to be overriding.
Now that I think about it like
abilities.
that, yeah.
Okay, no, cool. So just to be fair, then let's make one more. This will be just the straight roll advantage against Morgen for the snatch before we move on any further.
Yeah, and whatever the highest number is, I'm going to make a 3.
Yes. So a 20 and a 28. So it becomes a 20 to hit.
21.
Okay, you need to... You are grappled. Just straight grappled. No, thank you guys for the diligence and also the nitty-gritty of wanting to figure that out. Because, this thing was confused. Otherwise, if it did not have its prey, it was really sad. Anyway, so you take 11 slashing damage as his talons pierce into your flesh if items purchased. 5 necrotic fills into you. You are grappled. And this thing does what it knows best. It is a creature of prey. It is going to fly straight up into the air with its full movement, 80 feet.
Since I was paralyzed, that is also an automatic critical.
Son of a gun.
Well, shit. Okay, so
moved
that's
the wrong
another
first then.
2d6 and 2d6. Okay, so let's roll another 4d6 on there. So that's 11.
I am resistant to that necrotic, though, so
Okay.
I've already taken that.
Okay, so we'll do the 2 and 2 at the end.
Yep.
Awesome. Just because, that's how I imagine it would have been 2d6 to 1, 6, 2d6,
Yes, sir.
2, 2. Okay, cool. So it has that. It flies you straight up 80 feet in the air. Have you guys ever watched those videos of those eagles
Yes.
that hunt the goats up in the mountains and their main tactic of killing prey?
Dropping it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Morgan, you get dropped by this thing as it flies you 80 feet up into the air. And it feels you weakening beneath its grasp, and it feels, I have food, and it drops the kill blow. You're still awake. Make a dexterity saving throw. It's really hard to mitigate 80 feet of fall damage. You'll take... we're going to round up on this one to 20 fall damage. Yeah, because it would have been 17 half anyway. I think still would have put you at 0, right?
Yep, at 0, but not outright dead.
Yeah, not nearly over half your max. You guys watch this thing. It flies. It is still 80 feet up in the air, and it just pick up, and you see Morgan disappear up into the sandstorm. And there's that moment of worry, and then you just hear as her body hits the ground. Ludo's turn.
Where did she hit? Right close to us, close to where I'm at?
Yes, actually.
The same area.
No, actually, it would have flown straight up and then teleported out 40 feet away from you guys.
Okay, so 40
Yeah, it would have gotten
feet.
there. Sorry, I forgot I had that bonus action teleport. Yeah, so you just see it like kind of just went up at that angle and teleported as far away in that horizontal vertical as it could get. But it wanted to,
on the back of the Moorbounder.
Whew.
Pretty decent speed.
The Moorbounder can use its movement to move Ludo on his turn, yes, because he specifically has that fucking spell. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
He's gonna get right there, dismount the Moorbounder, and lay on hands 15. 15 points of lay on hands. Being down, I think he would pump 15 out of his 25. So 15 lay on hands.
Amazing.
Get a pen that actually works, maybe. I'm trying to make notes for Ludo so I can message him after the end of this.
Yeah, he's done lay on hands, 1 smite.
Yeah, 15 points lay on hands and 1 smite. And then he's, at that point, he's going to stand over top, I think, of Morgen.
Yeah, and he can, like, occupy that space, basically, like, I would say, as his, like, shield and everything, yeah.
Up toward the thing and, like, waiting for it to come down.
Yeah, Morgen effectively...
in front.
Yeah, he basically has, like, most partial cover from Ludo at this point from that. So it's basically will be an effective +5 to her AC from Ludo standing there, specifically with that intent. All right, that is to you, Finn. You hiding behind the rock, you kind of saw a little bit of that.
Yeah, and yeah, I saw a little bit of that. I'm going to move her around the rock, 5, 10, 15, 20, so at least I can see everybody. And being a while since I've played this character, I should have done this earlier, and I didn't think about it, but now I can do it now.
Mm-hmm. And they are in heavily obscured conditions at that distance.
Yeah, that's true.
They are just beyond the range of visibility in the sandstorm here.
That's goddamn right character sheet. I keep clicking Ludo's
character
sheet.
I know, sorry. I know. Dude, it's so fucking hard, man. I know, I'm so sorry.
So I can't really see them. That's a bummer. Can't really see them. That's a bummer. Nothing's fun. I'm like looking at my character sheet like, this is not great. Actually, I'm on a horse. I'm technically on a horse at this point.
Oh, yeah. You've been
one
person
person
around.
that has a living horse. So... how far is obscured? Like, how far? Yeah. So, for 60 feet is obscured? Is that what you said?
Yes, 60 feet is obscured. But also, just to make sure, it was Ludo's horse was the one that was white, right?
Ludo's on the Moorbounder.
But like before that, because yours was the horse that died before, and Morgan's was the black one, right?
I think so. And then
awesome. Okay, so these need to be replaced then, because the one Morgen was on would have been the one that died. You would have been on Ludo's then, because he has the Moorbounder now.
Yeah. It's 30 feet, my 30 feet, and they're still...
Hey, I gotta make sure we keep track of these horses, you know?
Keep track of horses, yeah. So I started here. Even if I jump off in 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, even right there, if I move there. I gotta find out where I'm at here, because you said above 60 is...
Yeah, and this Gloomstalker is 80 feet up, yes.
Okay,
so this thing has disappeared into the clouds at this point.
Alright. Something I should have done the first time I didn't, because it's been a while since I've played this character. I should have done this in the first place when I teleported the first guy, but I'm going to do it this time using I'm just using all my spell slots. I'm going to use Vortex Warp again and Twin Vortex Warp because it says a creature, and since I'm doing a single creature, I can, another creature you can see other than yourself. And I'm going to bring Ludo and Morgen right behind the rock right behind the rock. I'm like, it worked once, let's do it again. And
Twin Vortex Warp.
That's gonna be my
probably the coolest fucking thing I've ever heard of. Like, I don't even care if that's not raw. I'm just like,
it says a single creature.
That's what I mean, and that's the specific of twin spell.
Another creature
that is a single target.
Both of them, and I can bring them in. So they're both, as long as they both fail. I mean, they could not fail their They're saved. They don't
Yeah,
want to get teleported.
no, that is
But
like my brain was trying to like the shittiest rules lawyer like on the internet, not even myself, of like why would someone have any problem against that? And I'm like, I can't think of a good reason. That's just fucking dope and like
It's
a great use of those spells and abilities.
could have done that in the first place. I wouldn't have to waste this spell slot to do this, but I didn't think of it when I was teleporting Saeryn over.
Hey,
So
sorcerer,
right?
right? Sorcerer problems.
Yeah. It's like I forgot. Like after I said it and we were like 2 characters in, I'm like, oh crap, I could have twinned that.
It's like
You
yeah.
said I'm attacking Morgan. I'm like, damn it, I could have twinned that spell. So there, I twin them to us. We're all together. Poor Moorbounder, but I'm less concerned about Moorbounder. And if I'm on horse, then I actually have more because that was 30 feet. No, I said I just.
Oh yeah, you got off because you got their speed. Yeah.
I did say I dismounted, so I could do that. And that is. Oh, but I do get to move 10 feet back.
Awesome. So Morgan, your last memories were sitting there waiting guard, and then you got picked up, carried into the dark sandstorm above. What was the moments and thoughts as you were dropping?
So I feel like this is a whirlwind of emotions here.
A lot
Seeing
happened.
this shadowy creature through the dust come at me and shout an ear-piercing scream, clutch me in its necrotic claws, and then just flying up. I imagine the feeling of freedom up there, and then
Mhm.
a fear once the claws let go, and then watch the figure kind of shrink in my vision as I fall down, and then just breathless.
Mhm. Yeah, you didn't even feel the impact when you hit in that exhale or like inhale. And then the next thing you woke up awash with that divine energy light, like that, like, you know, those like that movie scene where like the eyes are opening and you just see Ludo the ASMR over you, feeling that healing energy washing in, and then in that brief of a eye blink moment later, you both, it's like you get that familiar feeling of the morning before, or this morning even, when Aljin had teleported you against that will, and you feel that familiar sense that you just give into that energy, and then just like that whoosh, pushing of water like in the tide, and then now you find yourself awake, prone, next to Ludo and Saeryn behind this rock.
Uh, I will use half my movement to stand up, my action to activate Aura Vitality, and my bonus action to take the 2d6 healing.
Yep. Hey, it's a really good spell.
Huh.
It's a really, really good spell. Just come at me when you guys watch the latest Critical Role.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet. I got off work early enough today to watch, and I didn't.
But we've seen plenty of battles in the past where Fern using that as like save the day,
Yeah.
basically. And here we are, Aura Vitality. So what does your Aura Vitality look like now that you have this level 3 healing spell? I think it's the first time you've used it.
This is the first time I've used it, yeah. So she would kind of pick another feather from the dress, and it kind of burns with that dark light flame, and it's like a maroon kind of aura around her, and it just sort of like coalesces around like her wounds first as some of them close, and then it kind of releases that concentrated energy back out to a more dispersed aura, and just whenever it's used, it just kind of like retracts around the wounds, and then just kind of goes back out like this ebb and flow of life and death.
Awesome. Yeah, you all just feel that energy wash over you. So it's Until the spell ends, the aura moves vicinity, and you can use a bonus action to cause one creature. So that's action to cast the spell, bonus action to heal yourself.
Yep, and then half the movement to stand, and that's end turn for me.
Awesome. It is now the mammoth's turn. It finally recovers, lets out like a little. That's my best elephant mammoth, tusk sound. Come at me. We can't all be them best voice actors. No. And it goes running, dashing off, just fully tramping, getting the fuck out of there. Like you see it is bloody and limping, and it's gone. It is trying to get out. Like that has been its sole intention the entire time. It wants nothing to do with this. Saeryn, back to you.
Woohoo!
Stupid. Oh my gosh. So yeah, the thing, you guys are all there. The thing's 80 feet up in the air, disappeared in the sandstorm. You got the Moorbounder sitting there by itself. Let's just change this. What's this music sound like?
I could try Firebolt at disadvantage. No, even at disadvantage, it's still like beyond heavily obscured.
Yeah,
I
you
can't
can't
it
even
all.
see. Yeah.
I can't even target it. Don't really have. I think I might just take the dodge action.
Awesome. Okay.
Because right now I think we're pretty much out of its
Mm-hmm.
ability, out of its area or ability to actually do anything to us. It might attack the Moorbounder, but
yeah. So pass turn after dodge. So this will kind of pretty much determine. This is thing comes running, diving back out of the clouds, and it is trying to make this snatch roll against this Moorbounder.
Okay.
Anyone doing anything as you see it burst back out of the sandstorm as it like gets back into that range, and it's wise-ish. It's not that intelligent.
That's a fine
it
steed,
sees a
right?
creature, yeah. Like
It's a fine steed, yeah. Ludo might have a problem with it, but at this point he's pretty quiet, I think.
Yeah.
Just vocal somatic, so it doesn't even cost him anything. I think at this point he's sort of like
Yeah, so he doesn't care. So it's gonna make a snatch, and it thinks it has its prey. It comes out, it grabs a Moorbounder. That might kill it. Honestly, it's 18 plus 9.
Look.
I don't know how much hit points the steed has.
Moorbounder.
We're doing average. If
doing
it's
average of
using that.
What is he using? I know it's
Just a regular
shaped like a
Moorbounder.
Oh, okay.
I think it
has-
uses the actual stats if it doesn't specify in the spell, which I don't think it does.
It's 30 points. It has 30 points. You just hit it for 27 plus 9 earlier, so yeah, it
Yeah,
boosts.
it's boofs. So yeah, that goes away, puffs in a mist, and to see this confused thing, this thing lets out another shriek, but not this one that like fucks with all of you guys, but it's more in a frustration, and then you just feel a poof, and it just goes and flies away. And it goes begins flying rest of its movement, and then does another shadowy teleport, and then it actually goes off in the distance past in the direction of the mammoth. But it seems to all easy prey. You guys are huddled all together, and it seems to fly past and regard all of you, and it just knows when easier prey is down the line. It is really pissed off, though. It's fucking upset. Yeah. But not to,
Yeah. Finn will look at Ludo and be like, well, I'm really sorry about your steed there, Ludo. And the horses. That's one horse looking very scared, I think, at this point. He's like, I'm sorry that your Moorbounder, your steed there destroyed. I mean, I'm sure you can get it back maybe tomorrow. And Ludo just sort of gives him a a nod at this point, I think. And just sort of looking upset, but not horribly upset, because no one died, really.
But yeah, you all definitely easily in this moment take a few seconds to brush off the dust.
Morgan,
But-
do you want to ride? Do you want to ride the horse the rest of the way? Maybe in a slower pace, or that was quite a tumble you took.
Well, yes, I'm out of breath. I would also take the next few rounds just trying to heal myself up with the aura of vitality that I've got.
Yeah, I was about to say, you have what, like 9 more of those D6,
Yeah,
two
I sure
D6s to
do.
hand out?
Is anyone else hurt?
I got hit.
Gotcha. Let us see what happened.
Yeah, I feel like between 9 more 2d6s, everyone can be topped off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think him.
1, 2,
Ludo
3.
got hit by a 9, so take one of those just to top off.
Maggie wants a lot of it.
Finn's fine, so.
Yeah, but you guys, had that encounter with that creature. That said, like Saeryn and Morgen, without any check required, you know that to be a Gloom stalker, a winged predator wyvern from the Shadowfell that somehow, through the War of the Calamity and between the deity gods and the prime deities and betrayer gods, found their way and found a living here on the material plane in the Shorehashian wastes. Fearsome, awful, horrible creatures. And I'll say you guys are definitely able to take those moments to pass out the healings. Things just kind of got caught up in that battle, and it went real fast. We should probably take a quick 5, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys want to do 5? Yeah. I just realized it's already pretty late along, but whew.
That was fun. I mean, that was one of those weird battles where like being blind, I can't do much damage.
That's
that was rough. And
the combination of roll tables and that specific encounter that bumped down from other encounters that would like already been encountered, like already rolled.
That was a
like,
rough one.
That one I'm like, this could be like if Ludo didn't have the Moorbounder to be able to get that distance to like you would not have been able to get to Morgen to pick her up in time, and that would have
that could have been very much it.
I mean, he probably could have got there. I think he could have got there in a sprint. Could have got there to like maybe protect, like maybe be big enough to put a shield in front of it and maybe help out. And that was like it. But with the Moorbounding having 70 feet of movement, you get there real fast and dismount real fast, and that was great. And then I really wish I could have moved them both in the first round instead of just Saeryn. But hey, that's what happened.
Sorcerer's like, wait, I can do
brand new spell. I mean, that was like the second time I cast it. So
BRB as well. Let's get the
Like
traditional. Yeah, let's get the traditional "Be Right Back" music on, and then I will be there as well. I do love this track though. right. We back. How's everyone doing?
Oh, you know, good.
That was more rough than I thought. It could have been.
I mean, being it's just it's being obscured was the worst.
Yeah, no, those that was the one roll on that table. It's like sandstorm, then roll. That, and I'm just like, oh, that makes some of these encounters way worse.
Yeah, I'm not super worried about when other people go to 0 hit points, but when it's me, I'm like,
Uh-oh.
You're like, oh no.
So I was like, well, Ludo's up, and I'm looking at Ludo's and the Moorbounder. I'm like looking at the Moorbounder. I'm like, okay, I think I can get there. No big deal. He would dump. I don't know if he would have dumped as much as I did, but I figured 15 hit points was at least enough to get you up. And if you get hit again,
You keep
maybe
some in
not
the tank.
die. Maybe not die. No. But
No, that was good all around.
the one time doesn't decide to go out in the front lines, he's like, I'm gonna hide behind this big old rock. This is a nice big rock here.
Yes, good rock.
It's a good rock.
Well, because especially also knowing, your familiarity with Crtiical Role, as soon as it's like Gloomstalker, I'm sure it was like, oh, fuck.
I was like, I don't know if I like that. And then my initial thought was, all right, we killing both these things or just one? And so I didn't really worry about the elephant, but
No,
oh well.
yeah, that was like, I'm like, all right, map placement. Yeah, this thing's trampling, and it's.
Yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense.
Man,
So the only thing I disappointed myself was not scrolling all the way down to seeing if I could twin that.
the first one.
Yeah, the first time twin it, because it would have been at least would have taken Morgen off the menu for the first attack at least. Just made me confused a little bit.
Yeah. No, that's
Well, live and learn, I guess. Try to remember your characters without maybe look at it 10 minutes before you get into the game.
good. Ooh. Oops, oh well.
Oops,
I didn't reach something all the way.
It was one of those things that you're like, oh, as a DM, it wakes you up in the middle of the night. I could have done that, damn it.
Yeah, there's a whole other paragraph to that encounter I did not read.
That's okay. That was scary enough.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys didn't need 1d6 skeletons popping out of the ground every time it used its shriek.
No, I don't think I needed that.
Yeah, that would have made it a lot worse.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I would say we'd still be fighting right now, honestly. I think that would have been like, hey guys, let's break mid-combat.
Was that thing...
That's fine. That is fine.
Is that thing I don't really know Gloomstalkers real well. Was that thing undead?
Not
No.
itself, no, it's just a
It just
specific
summons
thing.
undead.
Well, from the being, yeah.
It is-
Post-game and, post-game discussion. But yeah, that was really cool. But I feel like that's, people want to maybe take a moment after that.
Yeah.
Say, is everyone back?
Haven't heard from Facemess yet.
Say, no worries. He knows my breaks usually last a few minutes. I like to, go do the thing, so. Nice
That was
to-
I don't know why that was the scarier count, like one of the scarier encounters so far. I mean, probably because one of us was stuck out in the middle of nowhere, and that was why it was so scary. That Morgen was like in the middle of nowhere, and I tell you the truth, I forgot she was I teleported Saeryn, I forgot she was paralyzed.
Yeah, no, that's a
And she got picked up. I'm
ability.
like, this is scary. Now it became scary. we cannot let the healer go down.
Yeah,
This
because yeah,
cannot
it's like,
happen.
yeah, like looking at the stat block for the Gloomstalker, I'm like, these are nasty fucking creatures. They come in paralyzed, and then if they get that snatch, it's just like 80 feet fly speed. And like, what does any creature that is large enough to carry a creature do? Fucking drops them.
Yeah, absolutely.
But all right, this cheesy ass music. Let's get back into more traditional travel.
How long has it been since we left the encampment? We a couple hours out.
Probably, yeah. I was like within like an hour or two that encounter probably happened. So the sun's definitely gonna be starting to fade soon. It's hard to tell with the sandstorm exactly. But yeah, you guys can definitely make the decision to keep on pushing or
I mean,
do what
I
you
think,
do.
Morgan, it's up to you, I think, because you might not be feeling the greatest after that big fall. Do you want to at least get off this path, just in case more Gloomstalkers decide they want to come up? But maybe get off this little path here and then find a place to camp for the night.
Yes, I think we've pressed our luck for the day. Maybe tomorrow's a new day.
Yeah, let's go a little bit, like, not quickly, but like just try to get off of this maybe stretch and then find a place to camp, I think.
Sounds lovely, dude.
So just having one horse now, went from 4 creatures that can carry us to 1. Sort of is a bummer.
Yes. Yeah, I will say in those moments, yeah, it was those things definitely over dealt damage where they
I
couldn't be saved.
That's why I didn't have Ludo go over and like touch them for like 1 HP because I figured they're probably dead.
Hmm.
Let me see how much HP a horse has. 13. I'm pretty sure got hit with like 26 points or 27 points of damage.
Yeah, it was a big trample.
Yeah, so the horses are dead. So like I said, that's why Ludo didn't even try to save them. Yeah, I guess trying to get off this little path here just in case there's more Gloomstalkers and then find a place to camp.
Sounds like a plan to me.
There's Saeryn, all right.
Yeah, Saren's back.
That's one of my favorite tracks. Dude, where's my horse? Which I call Dude, where's my Moorbounder?
Yeah.
I think very, very fitting.
Oh.
But so, do you guys? How do you split up these bags that you had on the horses that contain all these chunks of silver ore and rations and?
Oh, damn it! I forgot about that part.
So now you're
Honestly,
down. Because there was also the baby. Oh. Okay. We're gonna say for purpose narration, Ludo made sure to set the baby aside off the Moorbounder before he went charging in the battle, and it got picked up and attacked by that Gloomstalker, because he definitely specifically mentioned it was being carried on the back of the Moorbounder last game. He wasn't here to mention any of that this time, so we kind of forgot. So we're gonna say baby perfectly safe, but it is in a chest that was being carried on the back of that Moorbounder with him.
For some reason, did we give the baby to the
Oh
dragons?
wait, yeah, shit, duh.
I was like,
yeah.
No,
No,
you're sitting there talking about baby. I'm like,
forgot
I
the whole
think we
last session,
gave
yeah.
it. But Ludo did keep the. I believe
There
he
was
gave
the
the baby
chest,
up,
yeah.
but he kept the
blanket, yeah.
blanket that the. Oh man, I can't remember her name. The
Maggie.
Maggie.
Yes.
The Maggie gave him. He
Okay,
kept
yeah.
the blanket.
So yeah,
But
that's
everything
what
else-
I was thinking. That's what he needed off the Moorbounder. So yeah,
So
he was
the-
able to collect that off when it like disappeared in a poof. That dropped to the ground. Yeah, I forgot. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot you already got rid of the baby.
Yeah. We didn't get rid of it. We gave it to a good home.
You guys dumped that cursed ruinous-born baby on a bunch of Fey dryads.
I'm sure that's not gonna bite us in the ass later. I'm sure.
Just saying, I wanna.
Us? No, we'll be dead by
No.
then.
Just saying, I'm gonna put it out there now.
Maybe the dryads have a real tiny thing where they can like make the baby grow faster, and that's like Jack's like writing down big bosses. This baby that got left by us.
Stop feeding plot ideas to the DM.
Hey, you go into the Feywild, you come out, you roll a D100, see what happens.
There you go. Yeah, exactly.
Alright, anyway, nonsense. So you guys, I will say, it'd probably have to be slow carrying and pacing, especially until Ludo is able to get that Moorbounder summon speed back up.
Technically, let me see what spell it is,
because he used it at the beginning of the day.
Single level 1. He has 2 level 2 spell slots. He can technically summon it right now.
Okay.
So, it's not. It's just a verbal and somatic, so he can resummon that.
Oh yeah, you say
Looking at a sheet right now. It takes 10 minutes to cast, so if we take 10 minutes to like sort of hang out, if we're taking 10 minutes to like hang out, he would recast that since we're sort of getting to the end of the day. So
Smart.
Yeah, we'll bring the Moorbounder back. We have a Moorbounder and a horse. Which I think the horse is from.
So I think between those with the packs and the Moorbounder, I think you guys, a couple. It's probably gonna have to be slow going. I don't know if you'd be able to You could try going at the fast pace still.
Well, it would probably be walking. We'll probably be loading the animals down and then walking beside them, I assume.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think even Morgan would not be on the horse if it means that we could, keep our loop.
Exactly, fair enough. All right.
So we'll just do it that way, split the load between the 2 animals, and then walk beside them.
All right.
I think, just a little bit away, so we're not in the middle of this battlefield. And where to go.
So you guys are just trying to find a little spot to go hang out, find camp for the night.
I think so.
Remember, it is still in the middle of this raging sandstorm. So who wants to helm that search?
I think.
We could probably do a survival.
Oh, let us let Morgan take a look.
Okay.
Just put the overlay on for a second, because cool assets. Whoosh,
Nice.
It does look cool. It's beautiful.
whoosh, put that behind you guys. So you see as you're traveling out further, you're actually getting away from where the sandstorm is. So you're heading out at that normal pace, the 20 survival. Amazing. All right. What we're going to do with this is you think you are finding a way, a path to kind of camp up for the night a little bit off the trail. What you do find something, and you're heading with that set. You find a little path that, as you guys have been heading east and the mountains have been getting closer, you find a little footpath that leads up into a little trail up into the mountains that you think can help find a little bluff that will protect you against the winds of the sandstorm and give you ease of travel for the night. Or, ease of sleep. Sorry, not travel.
I think this looks like a good a place as any other.
Awesome. Yeah, and you feel, good, probably free from any, you don't notice there's the paths of animals and stuff like that do come and go, any sort of, natural critters of the wastelands. You notice there was a path where the mammoths come from out of the mountains, and with that survival you were able to find a place well past that. So you feel like if there's any focus of the Gloom Stalkers that would be attacking, that would be more, they're going to be more drawn to that source of an easy prey.
Yeah, I think I'll just kind of look for where we could kind of tuck ourselves in, not super exposed, uh, and maybe not necessarily in the middle of like a game trail.
Yeah, definitely, exactly. So you're able to like find the ways a little bit past that. Spend like so that'd probably be like an extra like hour going out of the way to get past that. Where you notice you find a way that's pretty comfortable. So you're going to a spot slipping up to the mountains past that, and you just see this wasteland of the trail, the barbed spires here in front of you that are sticking all like these like it's not like obsidian. It's just like this dark natural or unnatural stone that glistens with like a slick metally weird surface. These spires and barbs that stretch up to the sky and the telltale namesake of the land. But you feel, yeah, you guys find a spot that you can rest off pretty comfortably. And I'll have to ask, will you be building a bonfire?
That is
What
it.
is the what does the temperature be getting down to? I mean, is it like desert where it's super hot during the day and then at night it like sucks because it's like
Yeah, there's
30.
nothing that maintains it. Yeah, and it does get down pretty
Maintains
cold.
heat.
Where you guys, it's pretty uncomfortable at night once it starts to drop, especially with this wind and the sandstorm. You notice there's like that slight chill that persists. There's the wind gusts throughout the evening, but like you're free from the wind. Where you find that bluff with that 20 survival Morgen had, but like it's manageable to camp without fire. You think?
Yeah.
But
I
it
think
just kind of sucks.
Yeah, Ludo would place the moorbounder and himself like toward the opening of the bluff, where it's sort of like he's trying to like put a protective barrier a little bit above between the team, and that's what he would sort of be there. But Aljin doesn't care. I mean, cold doesn't bother him, but everybody else is probably freezing.
Yeah. You have all of that, but
Would Saeryn light a fire? Would you have a fire going?
I'm thinking Saeryn would probably light a fire and then use control flames in order to keep it from being too bright.
beautiful. No, good arcane manipulation of the elements. You feel like you're able to scrounge up just enough of like a little bit of little bits of like shrubbery and twigs and like stuff that you guys have as travel supplies, and at least something that gives you warmth enough and a spot to like see and look at each other and have any conversations as you make your beds for the evening and determine your watches.
I think before it gets too late, I would also like to try my hand at cooking my dragon's tongue flour.
Ooh, excellent. Yeah, the stuff that you had picked up from before. Um, so let's see. Do you have any sort of tools or supplies or anything that would be with that?
As far as tools go, I think I just have the herbalism kit.
Uh, I think an herbalism kit is fine, and I think because like also you would have been able to get some like sort of base supplies of like any sort of like I will say yeah you could add in like basic alchemical supplies in your inventory from your workings with Anti-Jawler specifically. You were definitely able to able to get those types of materials and
Perfect.
go ahead, just give me a quick make that like do you have proficiency in herbalism tools?
I sure do.
Awesome. So to use a tool for on D&D Beyond, if you go into your inventory on the actual item and click on the item, there should be a button in the top right that says use tool. then the bar will give you an option of what stat ability and then whether you're adding proficiency or not. So you can do a wisdom stat plus proficiency herbalism tool check.
24.
Amazing. And so you notice it's like normally a thing needs to be cooked for we're gonna roll 2 D4 and take the lower of the number. So you're gonna be able to cook that in 1 hour, but it's just like using like these like little tricks in that produce flames that Saeryn is handling on the fire. You like able to like ask him to maybe help like concentrate into the areas to like for maximum conductive and like help expedite the process a little bit. And you notice you have a perfect use of that. So first of all, any creature can now eat this, and they'll take 2d8 fire damage, and then you can cast for free a first level burning hands out of your mouth, basically a quick little fire breath.
I have spicy pepper now.
Yep. Yeah. So you all watch as Morgen cooks up this around down the fire.
After that, I wouldn't mind, trancing for the evening.
Hell yeah.
I think I would take the first watch. We're doing watches, and maybe Ludo. I mean, just because we'll do it that way. We'll just do it that way.
Easy.
Yeah, make it easier.
Love it. Love it.
Want perception checks.
Yeah, we will get there. Is there anything Saeryn is focusing on this evening?
I think that this Saeryn feels like he's had a really long day.
Yeah.
Having the whole baby thing and whatnot, and also he's just not feeling great about his portents anyway. So he's tucking in and keeping it pretty easy tonight. Doesn't really feel like working on any of his magic stuff. Doesn't really feel like today was too much of an exploration. Just kind of keeps his eye on the sky because isn't like that Gloom stalker still running around.
Yeah, and it's just like ruminating and just like thinking about like all of the chances and paths and crossroads that like brought you here. The cast of the dice in your head, and maybe actually, if we will, where was it? We're going to. How do I? 1 second. These things are. There we go. Messing around with these new scenes in folders. Make sure I get the right setup. But yeah, you think back, I think actually too specifically, this would have been a while ago, before you headed back, made your decisions to, well before heading to the Xhorhasian Wastes, back even beginning before your, like when you end up with the Myriad and heading to where you end up at the ports and all of that, just a young satyr stuck here at a crossroads, just like uncertain of your past and nature. And it's just like, what do you think were those like moments of young Saeryn that pushed him to where he is now? That moment he finds himself at a crossroads. Like what weighed on his mind in that time?
Good question.
Yeah, sorry, throwing it right at you.
It's one of those things where he always kind of intuited where he was supposed to go. Like a wizard is supposed to be like using their brain and stuff, but when it came to like decisions before the dice started rolling around in his head, he was still had kind of an intuition of this way feels more me, without ever really having an ability to make a reason or a name or a feeling to it, other than just this. I don't see Saeryn going that way. Saeryn goes this way, and just keeps following that kind of intuition along, and it keeps turning out well. So he's never had a reason to doubt that gut feeling.
Yeah, like, and that's maybe like the youngest, like the spark of that feeling of, pretty lucky. I always seem to pick the right road when we're at a crossroads.
And then just consistently getting lucky like that, it kind of led him to begin to investigate. Okay, is this just a me thing, or is this something? Can I work with this? And that's how using his contacts in the myriad, was able to get his hand on a few wizard books to try and understand the fate and destiny and probabilities and whatnot.
Yeah, that was the crux and influx of Crossroads that you had found yourself at had helped, and like that's what eventually led you down that one specific path.
It's like someone being like kind of like naturally good at math, and so they end up like, well, I guess I'll just lean on this real hard. Except in Saren's case, it's an abstract intuition of like just being fortunate.
No, love that, and that's just like I imagine it's over time. People, the satyr, the fae-esque nature that like people will always try and like call you out on, or like that othering of yourself, and like, oh, it's just he's not lucky, he's just fae, it's just that. But like after a while you have an intuition and a feeling maybe from all these crossroads it's something more than just that. Oh yeah, but yeah, I was just wondering where the moments that helped build Saeryn to get to this path, and just like any of those spots that have a significant weight on him or not, basically. Just, wondering if any of that ruminates on him.
I think not at the moment, because I think he's right now. It seems like he's on the path. There's not like a divergence right now. There's just one way forward right now, and he's just focused on getting to Bazzoxan.
Love that. And that makes you think of all your the myriad connections that you had built throughout the thing, and then even having that offer here in the middle of the Jorhashian wastes, that the decisions you've made that lead you, and it still like all comes full circle, it seems.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, it's just curious what what's on your mind with all of that. But perfect. So you settle in for the night. Just think about all of that stuff. Aljin and Ludo take their watch, and Morgen goes in for a nice early trance. We'll say is Morgen has anything specifically also on their brain.
I think right now she would be sort of thinking about, her role with the Raven Queen and this mortal coil that she has kind of played a dance with today. And in a way, it's a reminder for her on how fragile these threads of fate can be, and no matter what her faith tells her, she still has to take the appropriate actions for her fate to come to fruition.
Nice, yeah, can't just let the things happen. It's like you still
Right.
have to take an active role in that. It's not a passive.
100%.
No, love that. And as you're sitting there settling down, with the wounds, healed on, and you feel sliding out of like your little bit of armor from protection earlier, a little raven bristle up their feathers. So Jacqueline is just like, that was fucking scary. You almost died. Are you okay? And he's like, start pecking at like where like your wounds and were grabbed as, like, not making it better.
Yeah, yes, I'm fine. I didn't realize that you were still here and in my feathers. Hi.
I was
How
taking
was
a
that
nap.
experience for you?
I woke up and you were flying, but then you weren't anymore. I thought you were gonna go see Mama.
Well, I almost did.
Oh, that'd have been so cool.
I will eventually, and when my time comes, it will be so. But right now, I need to be on this path here. But I think I need to make a more conscious effort.
Yeah, no, that's what, like, if there's any way I can, like, ever, like, help you out, like, let me know. Like, that's a pretty big bird. I was pretty scared, not gonna lie. But like, anything you ever need me to do, I got you. Such a good bird.
The best bird. Who's a good bird? I'd give him a little scritchy.
It's my best bird. It's like a raven pick a caw. I don't know. Whatever. DM bird noises. Insert. Hell yeah, but yeah, you got your bird. He's says he's willing to help out. And play any familiar roles that you wish. We also we have Aljin looking out. Ludo's perception, I think he's I like to imagine Ludo, like, he's just like looking at his shield of expression and like I don't know, for some reason he's just like looking at it and it's just matching his expression. That's that like blank stoic, and he's just like that solemn reflection of himself on that.
Asking that, or looking at the Moorbounder again because he had to resummon it. It's sort of, he's like between his shield and his Moorbounder trying to, like, come to grips with, did it die, did it not die? He's very much like that too. Like, he knows it's not a real creature, but I think he feels it. I don't know. We'll find out what Ray says, but I sort of have that feeling that he thinks it's a real creature. It's weird.
Yeah, it's gonna be some feelings to unpack.
Yeah, we'll see what he thinks. When he tell me to resummon it.
Amazing.
Aljin's sort of just sitting there watching, staring.
Yeah, and I think, with Aljin, you're sitting in this, like, reduced flame fire that Saeryn had been controlling. You're on this watch. You're listening, and, like, you hear the sound of the wind, just the swirl and shrieks of the sandstorm as it, like, whistles through this, like, little, like, stone, like, valley that you found up in the mountains. I do think with that 16, you do occasionally hear, it's a bit of a sound of, like, the shuffling of feet, the sliding of stone and sand, and it doesn't seem like immediately close, like nothing like encroaching on where you're at. It's like down off in the distance from where you had come, and you hear basically a voice call out, and it's just like, I think we'll all follow the hunter trails up this way. I think if we lay the traps in the morning, we can catch some of those mammoths, get those furs selling Bazan. And then you hear like another voice response. I don't know, Six Knives. Is it just easier to be raiding people? Wait for a wagon of people or something? It's definitely not Urban's voice, but it kind of sounds like that, as I realize.
Okay.
It's just, another sound Weasley voice,
Yep.
But yeah, you hear this person call him Six Knives, and he says, "No, ain't bloody fucking with that again. Not trying to get caught out. I learned my lessons." And then they just seem to like stomp off in the distance, like past towards like the direction that you had come from, where those game trails you had passed up.
Away from us.
Yeah.
Do I mess with them? All right. If I hear it and it's not coming toward us,
Mm.
I'm gonna leave it alone.
I will
There's
say,
so much
if
stuff I
you
wanna
want, you
do.
can make a history check.
Okay. +0. So this looks like a 13. That's not terrible.
That 13, it's something that did stick in your brain. He called the guy Six Knives, which you remember. Oh, that's the guy that the remnants of those bandits that messed with you on those first couple nights out on the trail.
Okay.
It just like it seems to be the same name and sounding person at least, but
Man, as much as I want to mess with them. No, I think at this point, knowing that everybody's pretty beat up from the last day or so, he would leave that alone for a minute. He'll tell Saeryn and Morgen when they wake up. He probably would have said something to, like, after they went away from earshot, he would have let Ludo know that people were close, but they walked away.
yeah, you see he's alert, on guard.
Yeah, but I think just let him go, and if they're heading away from them, he's not going to really mess with them.
Amazing. Yeah, so that happens. You're able to pass off watch between whoever. You guys feel like you're able to get a decent night rest. Let me just. Yep. Okay. Yeah, the morning seems to eventually come, and you find yourselves. The sandstorm has kind of abated. You're able to make like a decent amount of pace. Like regular pace is probably like 20 miles or something like that. Was like the progress you had made between the fast-paced night before and then having to bunker down for the sandstorm. But everyone hit that long rest button.
Nice.
I realized I'm like, oh yeah, I have to make sure I say that to make it official. I always forget about that part. It's easier on the Swallows games. You don't have to say it. It's just everyone, resumes.
Everyone sleeps. Yeah.
And I know Sarah's been looking forward to this.
So close together.
11 and 14. Hey, that's not bad. You feel the dice in your head rattling anew, thinking about those moments and those crossroads, and just those paths and choices you had, made in the past that led you to here. Anything in the morning people are looking forward to?
Nothing too crazy for me, I don't think.
Alrighty.
And
Yeah, I think-
anything major.
Yeah, I think Saren's just excited to be getting closer and closer to Bazazan.
Exactly. Alright. Well. Let's just do one more quick last D20.
Someone else
See
can
what
have
we
this
see.
one.
I think I'm the only one that hasn't rolled
You
anything.
Guys
so-
can get over 10 on these rolls. I do believe in you.
I don't know if we're allowed to, though. I'll roll one, though. Nope, we're not allowed. A 9. Damn it. Oh, boy.
Alright, so the wind has died out. No more sandstorms. As you start heading off, the sunny day, bright. All the clouds have moved away. And in fact, as you're moving and as the sun starts to rise in those first couple hours of travel and it starts to climb up into the sky, it's really hot. And it is warm and the air is thick where it's like you can just like feel it as you're breathing it in, and your body is just like in a warm blanket that seems to be wrapped around you, and just no matter how much you try and cool yourselves off, there's these just constantly sweating. I will actually need everyone to make a Constitution saving throw for me, please, as a full-on heat wave begins to work its way into the full noon sun.
Is my crit on a con save?
Group checks, okay. So, with that crit, it's Aljin. How do you think you're able to help mitigate heat with the heat wave? With your, you got, your abilities and tricks.
Yeah, he sort of like realizes that everybody is getting hot and it's just steamy, and every time everybody's taking a drink out of their canteen, it seems like it never goes down. Like every time they stop and take a drink, their canteens always seem full. And one of his abilities is he can fill a single, I gotta look, see what it actually is for. He can actually fill a flask with water, with potable water, but it seems like everybody, as they're drinking, seems to be cooling down quicker by drinking out of their canteens that never seem to be going out of water. What is that? That is a racial.
Yeah, is that the Shari thing?
It's the Shari feat, yeah, where I'm allowed to do that. I gotta see where it's at. Description. No. Zephyr, you create enough hot or cold water to fill a small drinking vessel. So every time someone takes a drink, it seems to be full with cool water, cold water for everybody.
And Ludo's sitting there silently suffering doing it, but Saeryn, how are you handling the heat?
Fuck.
If it's not sand, it's another thing, right?
Think I'm wearing too many fancy clothes for this. I just the fur on his legs is not fucking helping.
Yeah, furry creature in a fucking heat wave. Like, how brutal. But Ben keeps topping you off with all this fresh water.
Thank goodness.
Cold. It states cold water, so every time you take a drink,
hell yeah,
it's cold water.
Yeah, so because of that, with the cold water and the crit, it's you guys have no penalties. You can still travel at your normal amount of speed. That if you guys want to keep heading on out. But the air is so clear. Like despite there is that little bit of like haze of heat off in the distance, but between that and all of your perceptions and passives, you see it's like. This is a day where like things don't travel in the wild, basically, trying to stay out of the heat. So now you have basically the day full. Like you feel pretty comfortable. You're not gonna get fucked. Like travel's gonna be fairly easy. Besides the challenges of the heat itself.
Being a couple horses down, I think do you guys want to go at normal pace? We're not like sprinting through this heat wave.
I think running through a heat wave is generally a bad idea. Yeah.
Terrible idea. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, no, you guys are able to make that path up pretty good, and I'll say with that it's. You guys make really great progress, like full travel throughout that entire day. Was there like anything that anyone wanted to do throughout that day while you're traveling?
it's so miserable hot that even Al would just be not speaking much. You know, the one thing that shuts him up is heat. Obviously, he's just very miserable, trying to keep everybody hydrated and cool. So, you know, taking his time, just watching people, and you know, he doesn't really say too much throughout the day.
Mm-hmm.
I think at some point, you know, anytime we might have to like break for food or something, I think I'm completely out of rations. So I will just create food and water as well today.
Hell yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, you boom, get refilling up everything. It's a lot easier. Not as many mouths to feed with down a couple horses. Definitely imagine you're able to focus more of that on water, and resupply yourselves. And yeah, that is easy enough to carry. And also, you know, it's magical food. So like, if you don't want to carry it, you don't have to. Yeah, so you guys sit down, have camp that night. It's still very hot and sticky. The heat has not evaporated throughout the day. And you all have a little bit uncomfortable sleep. I imagine, you know, no need of a fire that night for warmth. You find a spot fairly easily at the end. Any conversations or plans for the evening as you all make your time down for bed? Alright, now we shall move on until that next morning of travel. And you feel like with the distance you've been able to cover, this is probably the final stretch. Between the sandstorm and just like the regular travel speed, you're not sure how much, you know, you've been able to make ground on the other party or not, but you are starting to see the mountains as they're looming up along like to like what would be basically your left as you're now traveling along the mountains, and you can see off in the distance where is what should be the stronghold of Bazazan. And you see the occasional like bit of a burst of patrol off in the distance taking the various roads, some of them like heading off southeast into the barbed lands to what you know to be Roshana. You know, you see mammoths grazing out along the wastelands and a bunch of other creatures. You see the occasional burst of like Loom stalkers and other winged beasts that flow through the sky. And we're gonna do, I think it's my chance to roll a d20 on this, but I'm gonna roll it IRL. That is a 7. Alright. And what you get, I shit you not, intense heat wave. The heat picks up as you find yourself slowing for the day, or you can try and push yourself. And you see Bazan off in the distance. It's like that shimmering in the haze. There's these like where the mountains begin to slightly slope down into like a small valley, and then you see the actual like hard iron wrought worked gates that like stick out in stark contrast to the otherwise bleak and brown wasteland. But it is, if yesterday was a heat wave, you can feel already as you're breaking camp, since the heat never dissipated from the night before, it is doubling back even more so.
Well, I see it didn't let up from the night from yesterday, so that's not great. I just don't know if I have the strength in me to like take a mad dash for that big old city right there.
You two,
you guys want to take it slow again and just try to get there? Hopefully we'll get there today.
Saeryn is lying in a puddle of his own sweat, breathing hard.
I'll spend a first level spell slot for create water with the rain effect in a 30-foot cube.
Amazing. Yeah, I think that's definitely able to mitigate these. That definitely like helps as you're beginning to set up camp. And you just put yourself a little bit of a mist.
Yeah, just to kind of keep us a little cool. It's gonna be hot regardless. We might as well try and find some comfort here.
While the rain's falling, I use shape water to turn some of it into ice.
Amazing. So you guys are able to do that as like a little cool sequence. With that and those use of resources, go ahead, everyone, make Constitution saves with advantage. Oh my god. You all passed that DC 16 con save to avoid being exhausted as you travel through that heat wave, which makes sense. The fucking to create water, the shaping at the ice. You guys are using your resources and tools. Finn, you have been topping off everyone's water and all these things, and you've been using this decanter, this water that's like, you know, a gourd that you've been traveling with your entire time. And you've noticed it's never run out. Every time you've also taken a sip for yourself. You've never had to personally refill up your own gourd. And I think it's only on this day in this intense heat wave is like the first time you've actually ever possibly like mentally noticed it. Yes.
Okay. Interesting. Trying to like figure out why. Like me as a player trying to figure out, okay, cool. But like, alright, why? Alright. I think I think I'm just as confused as Aljin at that point of why the thing hasn't went out. I mean, I know I can fill it up, but if I'm not doing that, then
any checks?
What can I check for that? I'm not good at anything. Nature wouldn't be it. We'll throw an Arcana at it.
Do an Arcana, yeah. You have
makes
no
sense.
fucking claps. Yeah. How poetic.
every time I'm like trying to figure out my own past, I'm like, I have no clue. I didn't pay that close attention in my own time.
Yeah, like you just remember your grandma gave this to you, you know, shortly after your graduation, and yeah, just spin your trusty little gourd of water, your nice little decanter.
No clue why. Okay.
But with that, all of you manage in almost like a mad, feverish dash. You're able to spend like the rest of that day and make that break up towards Bazan. So this is the non-marked map, but just to put in perspective, there's still a Team Pelt logo. Like Bazan's like right around like here, I'm pretty sure. So you guys are like, you're gonna make it there by the end of the night.
Hell yeah.
And you guys just like, yeah, like, and you know, between all of this and the water and the help and the ice, like you're not gonna be pushing yourselves to the point of exhausting. It's just gonna be, you know, a long, hard day. But I will say, if you any conversations or points you guys want to have along that last little bit of dash.
This is the last dash, right? No more traveling for a little bit after this.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I hope we can at least stay here for a little bit. But what is the plan? Like, what do we plan on doing when we get there? Do you want to try to find the other group? Figure out what they're doing? Yeah, I feel like we had a purpose when we were with them, and now I feel very lost on what we're doing at this point.
I've got a feeling that once we get there, our next steps will become very obvious.
Yeah, it might involve joining up with the other group again. Or maybe we just find them, maybe they're in jail, we have to break them out. Or maybe they're, I don't know, we just run into them at a tavern or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, you know, yeah, I mean, I have a feeling that we'll figure it out because you're with us, and, you know, hell has no fury like luck of a, I don't know. It doesn't sound as right. It doesn't sound as good.
That's exactly what it is.
Is that what's that?
Oh, exactly what you just said. Yep.
Okay. Oh, okay. And so it made sense to you? Because it sort of
Oh,
felt almost a little forced at the end there. You couldn't quite come up with it.
honestly, there's so many sayings for it. Any one of them will work.
Okay. I guess it doesn't hurt to have a lucky satyr with us, and if we're trying to find people, that's the best. That's, you know, the best creature to have or person to have, I guess, is a lucky satyr. And he's like, do we? And he looks at Saren's like, do we like rub your foot? Is that how that works? Is it like a rabbit's foot?
Saeryn hears you say that, looks you dead in the eyes and goes, yeah, buddy, that's how it works.
Huh? Uh-huh. Hold on one second. Let me just roll an insight real fast.
Yeah. Any rolls want to be made?
Yeah, there could be an insight check on that one.
I gave myself a deception at disadvantage.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, Saren's being a little sarcastic.
Yeah, just sort of like gives you the side. I'm like,
Well,
okay. Not. He's not gonna do anything, but you feel this brush against your leg as a mage hand hits the side of your leg. He's like, not like, I'm not 100% sure, but just in case, there's like, you see his finger just going for a mage hand, and the other side's like a rub. Like, oh, nothing. I'm just excited to maybe find an inn and sleep in like a bed. Sounds the best at this point.
Yeah, it'll be good to be back in civilization.
Anybody know? Is this actually a? I mean, it's called the City of Beasts, right? Is that what we called it? Is that what it was called? Oh, there's still a chance we're sleeping on dirt floors, isn't there?
You would know. Surius was the City of Beasts.
Okay,
that was the one that you and Ludo came from. Bazazan. That was like the home of the Betrayer's Rise.
Okay.
And you were told about like basically some like military stronghold that is the bastion of like fighting back the demon invasion of the land.
Okay.
I think that's kind of what the just as you were when you were at Kinjigao, what well, at least like Morgen would know that much. I would say. Like you know specifically Morgen because you know living in Jigao, like the Kreen dynasty, like that is Betrayer's Rise was the stronghold of the Betrayer gods back in the Calamity War before they were like pushed back to their capital of Gore, which is now Roshana. And yeah, like it's the bands and groups that travel back and forth between like Jigao and Bazazan. That's like the main hub, that the military hub that is the branch and like reaching arm of the Kreen dynasty.
I feel like I would kind of relay all the information that I know about it to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think Saren's ever been out this far.
Yeah. I'm not from this country or this area, so I have no clue. If it's a militant area, military held, are we gonna have a problem getting into this place? Are they gonna like do a search, or we got a lot of stuff on this horse and this, you know, glowing moorbounder? Are they gonna stop us trying to get in?
I have no idea. I've never actually been here.
Can't imagine they get too many travelers coming out this direction. They're going to be pretty impressed that a whole bunch of us all showed up around the same time. So yeah, they might get a little suspicious.
Maybe we can. We have a bunch of like treasure essentially with us. Maybe they'll be excited that maybe we'll be spending. Maybe they'll be excited that we're putting some money into whatever this town is. So I guess the best way is to just rock up to it and see if they welcome us or if we had to camp for a night. The worst can happen. We have to camp for a night outside. We haven't been doing that for a week and a half. So, do you know anything else about this? About the area at all, Morgan? Besides you told us, or is there anything else you should worry about?
Well, that's all I know for right now, but it's like you said, we've already been camping for over a week and a half, so what's I suppose there are no downsides if we can't get in, we just camp and keep on.
Do what we've been doing. Yeah.
Amazing. All right. You spend the rest of the day making your travel in this intense heat, sweat dripping off. You have to keep doing this tricks. You keep filling people's cups, taking swigs from your never-ending decanter. Eventually, jutting from the rusty orange mountains of eastern Jorhas are tall spires of black stone. This is the Betrayer's Rise, a foul fortress from times long past. Beneath the spires, a vast gate blocks all entry to the military outpost of Bazan, which sits in the shadows of the Betrayer's Rise. Crumbling and desolate structures huddle between iron watchtowers, and soldiers of the Aurora Watch patrol the tops of the walls and the massive gate ahead of you. As you approach, a guard on the wall barks, "Identify! And let me move you over to a brand new scene." You might need to zoom out.
Oh,
That-
this is cool.
That
It's a
is
great,
Bazazan.
great picture.
How do you all feel approaching that, first of all?
A little overwhelmed, I think. The feeling of like concern.
The clouds breaking circular over these jutting massive spires that tear up through the mountains into itself. And you see these two overarching that like loom over the entire city itself. And as you approach these guards on those walls, "Identify yourself."
Just some travelers from Jigao coming this way. Just to we're in search of some friends, some companions.
In search of friends, huh? I bet we could all use some companions, huh? And he sees you kind of makes over. There's the two of them standing up there, and they're weird insectile polished armor, and then one starts to make crude humping gestures next to his a friend right there up on the wall. Just being very very silly.
Suggestive.
Yeah.
I mean, not necessarily, but not. Oh, I guess is the right terms. Can we come in? I mean, we've been out here for a while. It's
This city could use some more kniggets.
I don't know what that means, but I didn't sound good or bad. I don't think.
Are you mercenaries? We could use your strength of arms.
Oh. Hold on a second. Morgan, are we technically mercenaries yet? Or are we just sort of That's a good question.
I mean, I feel like we're some kind of a hybrid. Yes, we are travelers, but I mean, I suppose we have
I mean,
mercenary skills. Yeah.
or Aljin has like a finger up to like the wall, like as we're chatting, like off the side, like,
But we really haven't taken any jobs for money, really. So I guess mercenaries is sort of a broad stroke for us.
Well, maybe this is our chance to expand to a new horizon.
Oh, that's a good point. Maybe we should. Sure. Okay. Yeah, we're mercenaries.
That sure seems like it took a bit of discussion, huh? Did the Moorbounder catch your tongue?
Just
Bah. Either way, into the city with you. We will bring you to the task hand, the local authority of the settlements. Bring them in, and you see the gates open. And you begin to make your way into the gates of Bazazan. And from atop the tower, you hear, "Your father smells of elderberries, and your mother was a goose." Had to throw him in there.
exactly.
But y'all, you fucking did it. Welcome to
made it.
Bazazan, and I think that is the time to end off this session.
Yeah, hopefully Ludo can be with us next
Yes,
session where we can
that is-
figure out what's going on.
Yeah, there's this is a
very-
big point.
Yeah, it's very Roll20 of Critical Role of two characters sidebarring while guards are yelling at them from afar. Like, hold on, we're talking. Give us a second here. Oh boy.
Amazing. Yeah, no, they asked for some help, and they decide to let you in, and we will get into more descriptions of the city as you all find your way in.
Excellent.
And what those moments look like. And you guys, hey, you're no longer traveling.
Yeah, now we're in a big
don't-
old scary city.
Think you rolled more than 10 on that travel table the entire 2 weeks.
What did you end up rolling on that travel table that got us more heat?
A 7.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, makes
Yep.
sense.
And it is intense heat wave.
Nice.
Which is
So-
I'm like right after regular heat wave because
wave,
that had to
yeah.
be bumped up from the rust roll because
Yeah, because you roll it twice, basically. That was enjoyable. That was fun.
Yeah, no, you guys
Again,
finally made it.
That whole battle was turned out scary. Turned out scary.
Sandstorm Gloom Stalkers, yeah, that one. Which is also, like I said, admittedly, I missed that one. That one should have been actually a lot scarier, but it was just a little bit more of a slog, at that point. I think.
I was nervous. I mean, I don't know how close we were to actually killing it, but felt not that close. It felt very far away to actually murdering that thing.
Yeah, it still had
Enough.
some stuff, but it's one of those creatures are gonna creature, and why would a thing sit there and commit itself to death and no food when food just ran off? It's just how things happen. It's just boom, all the rolls back to back have really been telling a fuck hell of a story.
It's a fun story. It's a great story.
I don't know, I appreciate all that, 'cause I don't know how that much of the nitty gritty of the day to day, basically, with the travel and the rolls and stuff,
It's that point where you're traveling for so many days, and you're I don't think these characters have anything more to talk about. At this point in time, it's just quiet, uncomfortable, just travel, where it's just this sucks. We'll just keep going, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's why I was glad. It was definitely all right, final push, Bazazan, you're at the gates.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what this city holds, and boy. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it'll be, but yeah, no, you had to get a little early today as well, and there's also getting new scene without Ludo. Good pause time. Finally get to scenes and maps I had set up for a minute now, but travel, things happen.
All right, well, I'm gonna get going. Thanks for running. It was fun.
Yeah, it's a good one to.
Yeah, no, glad to get this session, and at least, hey, I wanted to get the momentum, keep the travel, and like that cave and that whole Brutus born baby thing. That was like a big moment, but like this is like actually the next chapter in the book. Full honesty. Finally, this is officially starting chapter 3 next session.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, right. Progress, which I think you said, being on the road for so long, like, hey, like that's needed.
Yeah. Yep. This is the final. I mean, it feels nice to have that payout of you're finally there, like you've been traveling for so long. It's nice to have the payout of being there. Like,
right.
It's exciting.
Because I'll say full honesty, I'll reading on the Reddits, there are people running in DMs and with different groups and sessions are like, oh yeah, we got the Bazazan by session 3 or 4, and I'm just like, that's wild to me. How do you just skip over the richness of this entire land of this awful wasteland?
Yeah, I mean,
it is a DM's dream.
Yeah, if you have no bad things happening or weird side quests like a baby being held in a cave, what's the point of going through this hellscape?
Yeah, so that's why I hope you guys been enjoying all of the, like I said, it's road travel sometimes requires nitty gritty. Sometimes you can broad stroke get 2 days of travel in 30 minutes. And I hope it's been enjoyable.
This is gonna be the fun one of figuring out what we're doing next, recovering some resources, and finding the other group. That's gonna be we could spend months in the city trying to figure out what to do. This is gonna be fun.
No, that's that's why I'm like, hey, I want everyone here to help explore the city together and see what there all is to be here for everybody.
All right. Well, thanks.
Good night and
Yeehaw.
the session. I should probably come up with the tagline eventually for recordings, but hey, here's one. It only takes 6 seconds, so start doing better in life. Booyah!